everybody. I'm trying to find some theme music, but I like that. Everybody. I like that. I like that. Yeah. I think that might be the one. That might be the one. Everybody. Daddy Moonshine and Kid Casino. Okay. Well, hello. Hi, everybody. This is Defining Deborah, and I wanted to add a little caveat to my name now. I thought it would be Defining Deborah, and you don't know what you're talking about. I thought I would kind of change up the venue a little bit, I guess that might be the word, and give out some advice that nobody cares about, and I probably don't know what I'm talking about, but it's what I'm thinking. Okay, so you guys seen it. I put a little short out there, and Mr. and Mrs. Spam-A-Lot, child. These people on YouTube, oh my gosh. You know, I was thinking today, I'm like, now we have people who will walk past homeless people every day, won't give them anything. We got people who know about 50,000 charities in the world, won't give to that. We know that there's orphanages, homeless shelters, women's shelters, children places, children homes, addiction places. The list just goes on and on where people need resources to help assist them. But we won't give to that. And then we get mad if the government wants to give out food stamps or housing to people who may need it. But yet, if them people got on YouTube and are slick with their lies, you can make a lot of money. I'm telling you. Let me say this. I don't know what I'm doing on YouTube. I just started doing this. Matter of fact, I didn't find out really about YouTube to 2019. I don't even know if I had ever been on there before. I don't know what made me get on there. I retired and somehow I found YouTube. Not sure how, what I was looking for, but I found DIYs. And then I found Dollar Tree DIYs. And so I love to decorate. Y'all like that picture I got up there? I changed the room around, but I'm now in the process. If you seen my couple of videos ago where I said looking for a new home, well, I found one that I like that I'm combining with another one. But yeah, so my plan is this. I'm packing to get prepared to move, so when I have to move, I don't really have to pack. And so my plan is to be out of this before the end of the summer. That's the goal. And maybe sooner, depending on, how things roll. So anyway, you might see me if I'm filming inside the house with boxes here and there, and that's simply because I'm packing and getting prepared. But when I changed the room, I got that picture, and I really like that. It looks good, too, in the video. So I have gotten all off what I was saying. Anyway, I started watching in 2019, and so I made all kinds of stuff around here, Dollar Tree stuff, and then I branched out to people who were doing more than just Dollar Tree, and then, I don't know, somehow I moved over into the sector where people like King Jives, Larry Reed, some of those people are. Then I got caught up into the whole beef thing they had going on with Daryl Moore. I started with Daryl Moore early on, and that's another story. I'll tell it another time, but I've met some good people in the chat. That was my first and only time really getting in chats. So, yeah. But that taught me that people were not real. Because, see, I was a novice. I didn't know. I thought these people was real on YouTube. And so I took them for their word. And then I found out that, oh my gosh, they are liars, big time liars. And it's all about getting the clicks, the views, and the money. So from there, I started, on YouTube, you can see a video about anything you can possibly think about. So I've looked on there for how to tell if my key fob battery was low, helping me with counseling when I had to take a test, testing for my addictions license, study material, movies, documentaries, clothes. I even watched the Mennonites and how they make their dresses. I mean, I have watched some of everything on YouTube. And then I have some favorites, but not as much as I used to, because as time went on, everybody starts out great and they find their venue. Some people, it takes, their niche. That's the word I'm looking for, a niche. They find their niche. And for some, it takes a while. Like, I don't even know what my niche is. Let's see. My niche is just talking. And my whole thing was talking about women in their 50s and older. Well, I'm now 60. So when I started this, I was in my 50s. No longer in my 50s. But I thought, now that I'm 60, I have lived long enough to be able to give advice on some things. So I think I'm rolling over into giving advice from a 60-year-old woman, or giving advice on life after living it. I don't know. But y'all know I don't edit. I don't do no intro. That's the most you might get. I'm just on here just because. I don't beg for any money. I never got on here for money. Matter of fact, I didn't even know people made money on YouTube. That's how slow I was. And it's not for the clicks or views, or Lord, no, I wouldn't have no videos out there, because the biggest video I did was when I was landing in Jamaica. Sorry, y'all. I am having a little cocktail. It is Wednesday, mid-week drink. When I landed in Jamaica, and that got like 7,000 views, and it was me filming out the window. That was the craziest thing. Oh, but if you want to know what I'm drinking, some Tito's and orange juice. I'm not a liquor drinker much anymore. I've had this Tito's since October, when I took it with me to Florida, when I went to a reunion with my military friends. And I still think I got about that much in the bottle. But I was like, okay, I might drink some of this today. So I just drink it every blue moon. I'm more of a wine drinker now. Had to give up the beer because of the old gutty gut. And Lord, we're not going to talk about the weight loss journey, because, I did lose some before I went to Florida. But since I work at home now, I've gained it all back, and probably some. I started a new job in August, and I work from home. I'm a counselor by trade, but I took a little mental health break. I don't know why my hands are so dry. And I'm actually getting ready to go back to counseling in May with a private practice. But I'll be doing that part-time, and I will still be doing what I do from home. And that's because, I'm getting older, but counseling, as long as I can hear and these facilities are working up here, I can still do that. But that's what I love to do. But I'm trying to learn how to stockpile some money so I can do some more traveling. So that's the big plan. I do have a trip coming up in November to Vegas, and then next year we're hosting our reunion. We do it every 2 years here in South Carolina, so it'll be at Myrtle Beach. So next October we'll be at Myrtle Beach. Actually, this weekend, me and my son and my grandson are going to Isle of Palms, or Folly Island, which is down by Charleston, to go to the beach. I've been dying to just get to the beach, walk in the sand, just be by the water. And my grandbaby, who is like 17 months old, has never seen, the beach or the ocean. So that should be interesting to see how he is on the sand and all that. So we're going to be doing that Saturday. So, as I was saying, as time goes on, I have watched a lot of YouTubers. and a lot of stuff on YouTube. And most of the time, if I don't like it, I just move on. But I started watching people living in their cars and their van. Like there's this one young lady, Katie somebody, but she lives in her car. I think she's been doing it for 6-7 years now. And I think I started with her. And then from there, you know how YouTube was just start having stuff come. So then I just hop around and watch people. Then my sister told me about Anthony, who I think he's in a van now. And he has blown up. When I started watching him, he was in a car. And now he's in a van and he doesn't work anymore. So he's making big money. I think he's in Georgia or Florida or something now at some campsite. And then I moved over to a couple. They're out of Vegas. And I like them because she goes out sometimes by herself, and sometimes they go out together. I watch women who do it by themselves. I got into women traveling abroad on their own. But I stumbled up on this woman who's living in her van. I think she's been doing it for 2 years. And my sister says I'm obsessed, but my issue is I don't like people taking God's name in vain, and I don't like people using the pretense of being this Christian, but you have an ulterior motive. Being a Christian means you're simply a follower of Christ, and that you're trying to live your life or emulate how Christ lived when he was here on the earth. And you're supposed to be a Christian, but you started out doing crystals and ASMR. And if you don't know what ASMR is, it's like when people have those videos where they're just making sound. Like, they may talk really like this to let you know that they are there, but it's supposed to help you feel better. And people like when they whisper. They may do that, or it may be something where they may be just different things. People like that. I don't know why. Couldn't get into it. But she used to do it where she would flip the pages of the Bible or wash dishes or different things like that. Like now she'll go take the video, her camera with her to take a shower. Things like that. But my thing is, you know how you start watching somebody, you start looking at something and you're like, there's something not right about this. I'm not sure what it is exactly. And that's what I kept saying. I'm like, she always talking about God, but she quotes the scriptures wrong. And that's a big thing for me. My thing is, just pick up a Bible. And I don't have one right here, but if I show you over there, see that bookcase? Full of Bibles. I probably got about 15, 16 different versions of the Bible. That's a whole nother story. I'll tell you about that at one time. And for disregard the ladder. I brought it in because I washed the curtains in my kitchen. I just hadn't taken it to the garage. My back has really been killing me. But, you know, that's a whole nother video in itself, too. So anyway, so my thing is, if you want to quote scripture, and there's a lot of us that don't remember. There are some people that can quote a scripture just like that. I never was that person. But my thing is, the Bible tells us not to add or take away from the word. So all you can do is pick up your Bible, that same one that you was doing the pages for people just to listen, and quote the scripture right. Because if you're just this Christian that's giving people spiritual advice, then you should be able to know where to go for the scriptures that you're using, or how to look them up if you can't remember. So that was one thing. But the biggest thing is, the Bible says, or God says to his people, that his followers, the ones that believe in him, shall never beg for bread. Meaning that if you're a follower of Christ, you're God's child, you don't have to beg for anything, because when Christ died on the cross, it was all done. It was all taken care of. The Bible tells us that if God would take care of the lilies in the fields and the birds If you notice, birds don't sit around storing stuff up for the winter. They know to fly to where the food is when it gets cold, to where they're at. God takes care of his own. And so you would never, or you will never, as long as I decide I want to keep doing this as a hobby, and y'all know I'm pretty slack. I'm doing pretty good to get 2 videos out this year. It might be 3. If it's 4, I'm surprised. But anyway, you'll never hear me begging. I definitely didn't get on here for money. First of all, I just wanted to see if I could do it, if I had enough gumption or enough in me to do something like this. And 2, I make enough money that I don't have to beg or do stuff to make you want to send me money. Now, I know there are some YouTubers that I really like because they don't do that. They don't put their Cash App up. They don't put no Zelle up. They don't ask you for money. They just do their content or whatever it is that they're doing on their platform, and that's it. And then you see people wanting to send them stuff. That's fine, because people are saying, that's the way the people are saying, I enjoy watching you. I just want to send you something just because. Not because you're sitting out here begging. But if every time you get on your platform, and this is like a live for 5 and 6 hours, a video for an hour or 2, got 2 channels, and half of it is begging, or it's that what I call that undercover begging, meaning like I'm sitting here, and if I said, oh, I'm trying to think of something. Oh, I was going to the refrigerator and I wanted a glass of juice, but I didn't have any, and I won't get paid for a couple of weeks, but I really would like some juice. I know that's kind of slacking what I'm saying, but then somebody might see it and they'll be like, oh, well, let me Cash App Deborah some juice money. Or let me send her some money for food because she's down and out. Or if I came on here and said that they messed up my pay somehow, and so instead of me getting paid like I should this week, I won't get paid for another 2 weeks. I'll get paid for the 2 weeks that I've worked, but because they messed it up, they won't be able to get it straight and get it back flowing to my next pay period. So it'd be like a month going by without me getting paid. And people say, oh, well, let's help her out because she has to pay her bills and things like that. Well, that's how this person is. They get on there and they do those subtle begging, but then they just come straight out and beg. I mean, I am just appalled when I see that people have on Amazon their own wish list that you can go and shop things off of there for them. And I mean, this person, $500 items, $200 items, big ticket items. And I'm just like, wow, that's what we're doing now? I mean, it's bad enough when I see some of the other ones who are supposedly giving Christian news. And I'm like, okay, so you're telling the business of pastors and stuff, which I think that we should know when we have pastors in the pulpit who are sleeping with the congregation or messing with children or doing things that are just totally out of what God would be calling them to do. If you put it out there, you do the crime, you should do the time, and it's okay for us to find out. But should I have to pay you for that because you decided you want to tell it? See, this is my thing. I don't understand what we're paying for. Well, I've never paid, but what people are paying for. Because Americans are so gullible. Like that whole list of things I said that people won't give money to. But you'll sit in your house and listen to somebody that you don't know from Jack telling you a story. And you sit there and be like, oh, let me Cash App $5. Let me Cash App $10. And I am just mesmerized when I see people Cash Apping $500, $1,000. And I'm just like, there are so many things that you could be doing with your money that's good. Now, they say that this is a job. I suppose and then let me say this, it is time consuming. If you do the editing and you do the intro and you try to find, if you're a person that does content, like the ones who do crime, who have to do the research and do stuff, if you're talking about something where you're having to do research and all this stuff like that, or entertainment news where you have to be on the Twitter and the vlogs and all this trying to keep up with what's going on, yes, I say it's a job. But if all I'm doing is sitting here at my house talking to you, doing absolutely nothing, and the content is whatever I come up in my head that I want to talk about, and it may be interesting and it may not be, but you may just like watching me, that ain't no damn content. That's just me talking to a camera, and you happen to be a partaker of it. So what are you going to pay me for? The same thing I would do if I was talking to a group of friends or even some strangers if the topic came up. I don't understand it. I just can't see investing my money in that. I can't see me as a grown woman taking care of another grown person, male or female, who could be working. You're an able-bodied person that can work, and yet you don't. And when people ask you about working, you get mad. You get upset and say that this is your job. Well, I don't have to beg at my job. I do my job and they pay me. If this is your job, then why do you have to beg? And for those who don't know, I am a smoker. I know. I quit for 15 years, picked it back up, back on the downslide. I usually just smoke when I drink, but hey, you know, you can tell me what you want to tell me. I see people on there smoking weed all the time, so I figure, hey, I can smoke my cigarette. So then I'm like, okay, so I should buy your food. I should put gas in your van. I should put clothes on your back. Because I went and looked at the Amazon list and they had clothes on there too. Matter of fact, one of the short set outfits I liked and said, ooh, let me buy this for me. Items that you want, that you just decide that you need, and people should pay for it. And I'm like, but the rest of us are working. So when you work at your job, and some of us got jobs we like and love and hate and despise and have to do to take care of the bills. Or you may be retired and you've worked all these years, so you have money saved up for your retirement so that you can do whatever you want. And by all means, it's your money. Do what you want. But I can't see me working all these years and I retire and then I sit at home and give it to somebody that's on YouTube who ain't work, ain't put no time in, don't have retirement, ain't going to get no Social Security, maybe getting disability, you know, because people can manage to do that. But that's it. I'm not doing it. Not going to do it. And nor am I going to be that gullible to believe your stories. Now, some of the people, I believe there is some truth to what they say. You know, a good lie always has some truth in it. That's what makes people believe it. But you can't be a victim in everything. I'm 60, and I've been through some stuff. You know, maybe y'all have story time or lifetime. I like to say my life is like a Lifetime movie. Lifetime adventures. I don't know. I might tell you guys something about it, but that was my life, and I lived it. And even in the parts where I was a victim in that period of time, regardless whether I was a child or a novice, just didn't know her head from her butt, whatever the case may be. But I'm not now. So why would I want to tell you a sad sob story so that you can pay me now for what has already happened that I should be working through? Especially if you're in my age bracket. I am a firm believer in working through your stuff and getting yourself to a better place. Who wants to go their whole life blaming everybody else? And then where are you taking some accountability? Everything happened to you. You had nothing to do with it. You didn't make any bad choices, bad decisions. at the wrong place at the wrong time, got caught up in something, whatever the case may be, you can't take accountability for what you did or where you played a part of that. I'm always leery of people that cannot take accountability. I'm no longer married. I was married about 18 years. And so I'm back in the dating pool. Yes. And it is a crazy pool out here now. I mean, crazy. But one of the things I always like to ask men when they're talking to me, whatever, my thing is, what is the one thing that the majority of the women you have been with in your life liked about you, and what is the thing they dislike? And I tell you, 9 out of 10 times, they're going to tell me a story about how everything the woman did to them and how women have done them bad, but they didn't have no play in it. And when I hear a man that can't take responsibility for what he's done in his life, nah, you ain't the man for me. I've had them tell me that what I'm looking for, that man doesn't exist. I don't believe that. Because if I exist, I believe there's a person out there that exists that thinks along the same lines as I do and don't feel like they have to lie at the age of 60 or manipulate or connive. But that's a whole nother issue. So, but that's what people are doing on YouTube. They're manipulating their audience. They're lying to their audience. This is the biggest con. I tell you, it is the biggest con going right now. And the thing that kills me is everybody loves everybody. They always end with, I love you. You love people that you don't know. Well, we all have or you should have a general love for mankind, which I do. I have a general love for mankind. But I can't say that I love everybody that may come across my page because I don't know them. I don't know what type of person you are. I don't know what type of character traits you have. It would be great if I thought that everybody who may come across this vlog be a wonderful, loving, caring, understanding person that treats people right. But the odds are that's not going to happen. But they love their people that check them out. So it makes the person at home feel like, oh, well, Deborah loves me. I should help her. I should send her a little something. Yeah. I'm just surprised at us as Americans. We are in one of the biggest countries, the most industrious country. There's nothing that you may want to do that you can't do here in the United States. And yet we're so gullible. We are so gullible. When I look at the election stuff that went on, when I looked at COVID and the things that went on during then, and all the stuff that's going on now, people lie so much. Politicians lie every day. I don't even believe you can be a politician and not be a liar. You're corrupt on some level. Because even if you think you're not, if there's something you want to get past, you may have to tack your good bill onto somebody else's shitty bill to get it passed through. You have some nasty bed partners that you have to lay down with to get what you want. But just everyday people. I mean, we have just gone bonkers. Every day somebody's shooting up, not just one, groups of people shooting up children, and we're not even going to get on my whole thing about the shooting thing, not tonight. But it saddens me to see that people lie so blatantly to get other people to take care of what they want in their life. If you want a big house, pay for it with your money. I watch YouTubers who go from living at home with their parents to moving in a house to now moving to California and moving into a bigger house. I've watched couples. There's a couple and they have a set of twins. Because, people like watching when it's a Caucasian man and an African American woman, or an Asian man and an African American woman, those mixed races, or your mate is disabled and you're not. That's very interesting. But my thing is, that's their life. Is someone coming and paying you for your life? I mean, really, when you think about it, if you are married and let's say your spouse became disabled, is anybody paying for you? I mean, people know you. People know y'all are together. But is anybody sliding y'all some checks or some cash apps or Zelle or PayPal because your spouse is now disabled? No. But if you get on YouTube, you can do that. You sure can. People will pay for it. They will pay to see your life be what it is. I don't know. Maybe because I'm an older woman with nothing but a dog. Here, Parker, come here. Come here. Of course, now he doesn't want to act right. Come here, let the people see you. Come here, come here. Ooh, sorry. Here's Parker. Say hi to the people. Say hi. He's very antisocial, and he doesn't like anybody. And right now, because he's so ornery and don't like anybody, the one groomer that we had that he would tolerate, she has now moved out of state, so nobody at PetSmart will groom my dog. And so I'm trying to find one because he doesn't like for anybody to touch his paws, not even me. He don't like his nails getting cut. You can't mess with his ears. He just hates the whole process. So because he's snapping, nobody else wants to deal with him. So now he's running around here with long toenails, and that choppy cut, I've been cutting it. I'm getting ready to get some clippers. I don't know how he's going to work with me on that because I'm sure the buzzing sound he's not going to like. But seeing that he's decided he's not going to let anybody else cut him, I guess I will. And I don't know if he's going to let me do them nails. But anyway, maybe people like watching an old lady with a dog. I don't know. I don't know. I just want you guys to be mindful. There may be some people out there, and there's a couple of people that seem to be upright. And, you know, there's one young lady that I started watching that's in a van. She never asked for money. And oh my gosh, she's really smart. She had a good job. When I first started watching her, she was still working. And so she made good money. She had bought a house and all this stuff, but she decided she wanted some freedom and wanted to do something else. So she sold her house, bought her, it's not a van, it's a vacation like RV. I mean, it's not a big one, but it does have like where she can cook, a bathroom, where she sleep, you can sit up. I mean, it's nice enough. Small, but it's nice. But she has money saved up. She's very frugal. She doesn't buy frivolous stuff. She doesn't beg people for money, but like today I was watching her and people were sending her like $50 here and there. But it wasn't because she asked for it. It's because they just wanted to. And she talked about that. She was like, if you're going to do this, you need to have at least 6 months to a year of money that like you would have made at your job. Then you need an emergency stash because, you know, your vehicle may have some issues, like she's been having some because she's been driving it so much. And so, you know, that's the one thing. But then I see these other people who all you do is do what I'm doing. You're sitting in your van all day and you're not even doing anything. I mean, people watch you cook your breakfast. You take them to the shower with you. You sit outside. But everything that you want, you're wanting your subscribers to pay for you. And then you're a shopaholic. You may be cheap, but even if you go in a dollar store, you can spend you can go in the dollar store and spend 50, 60, 70 bucks. So why should people foot the bill for you to be a shopaholic? I don't know. I just want you guys to be mindful. You work hard for what you got, you know. Enjoy it. But also, if you want to give, there's always opportunities wherever you are in your city, your neighborhood, your state, agencies. There's always people who really have a need. So if you want to give $5, $10, $15, $20, $50, $500, why not give it in a place where people really need it, where you're really doing some good, where people will really appreciate it, and they're not doing it just so that they can go and buy pizza. You know, my thing is, if you're begging for money, if you're begging for food, money for food, then how about you cook it versus you going out getting enough food to have a mukbang? I don't even understand that. You beg for money to get food, then you go buy all this food so you can do a mukbang. Who does that? And yeah, I'm going to end on this because I was actually trying to cook. I took some fish out that was frozen. I was trying to wait for it to thaw out because I really wanted that fish tonight. I know it's gotten a little late, but I'm still going to cook it. So while I was sitting here, I thought I would just make a video because y'all know, like I say, I'm slack. But I want to end with this. I did not know how mukbangs came about because I'm not a big person of sitting watching people eat gourds and gourds of food, or at least pretend, because you know you can cut your video. You start eating and make it look like you ate a whole lot, and then you can tell the ones who are really eating because they've gained weight over the years, and to the point some of them have gotten sick from doing mukbangs because people like it. But actually it was started in Asia, and it was because it originally started because there was this person that was by themselves like me, and they didn't like eating by themselves. So what they started doing was they would eat on their video, or eat, but did it live. And so as people, they did it so that other people who were by themselves didn't have to eat by themselves, because most of us don't like eating by ourselves. I've tried going out eating by myself. You know, I don't do it a lot, but I do it every now and then, because there may be something I want to eat and everybody else is busy. But most of the time, you know, if I'm eating because I'm here by myself, I'm going to watch TV, or I may read, or whatever the case may be. So I thought that was a really neat idea that they started doing it so they wouldn't have to eat by themselves. And other people who were eating at that time, around 6 o'clock, wouldn't have to eat by themselves, so they ate together. I don't know how it went from this lovely, wonderful thing of being able to eat with other people so you wouldn't have to be by yourself eating and they wouldn't have to be lonely by themselves eating, to now having a whole table full of food that you're trying to stuff in your mouth. Crazy. You know, we can mess up a good thing. Well, that is my little rant tonight on my little series here of scammers. That is just one sector of the people on YouTube. There are so many, it is ridiculous. So yeah, be mindful and think about giving to some people that really need it. It may be somebody in your neighborhood, somebody at your church, somebody on your job, somebody at your child's school. You know, you never know who may need the help. Put your money to some good use. And you guys tell me if you, let me see if I can get back to it. If you like my little song. And yeah, I like it. Oh, you know, I'm gonna have to do better. I told y'all I'm horrible at this. I'm trying to play it, but of course, because I haven't taped it really. Yeah, so y'all tell me if you like it. Everybody have a good night. And for those who will actually, you know, take the time to stop and maybe listen to what I say, you know, everybody have fun. Everybody have a good time. It's Wednesday, middle of the week. Everybody. Yeah. Y'all have a good night. Good night.